Born as the son of one of the most famous heroes on the planet, being a bloodthirsty brat who has an older brother with the last name Grayson constantly lecturing you on why killing is wrong, and wearing a red, black, and yellow costume with the letter on your chest, who are you? Damian Wayne, Oliver Grayson? Trick question. You're actually both. Both of these annoying little boys have a lot of surface level similarities, more than one would initially think, but they also have a few differences. Damian Wayne is the blood son of Bruce Wayne, aka Batman. He's also the fourth and current Robin. Now, anyone who knows anything about Damian knows how much of a handful he could be. But me, 9-year-old me, loved Damian. He was my favorite Bat family member at the time. Looking back at it, would I say that I had no idea what I was talking about? Yes, but it was Robin with a sword. Nothing besides Spider-Man was cooler to me at the time. For the most part, I'll be talking about Damian from the DCAU because that was my introduction to him and the best version of him to use for this comparison. And for simplicity's sake, I'll only be talking about Oliver from the show. It's not like I read the comics anyway. Damian was a bloodthirsty animal from birth. His mother in the League of Assassins trained him to be just that since, the day he was born. So violence was all the little guy knew. Talia eventually dropped him off at Gotham and was like, by the way, we have a son, and then dip. One of his first nights in Gotham City, he was already trying to publicly execute someone until the GOAT, Nightwing, showed up to stop him. And for those not keeping up, Nightwing's real name is Richard Grayson. Also, I just bought a new PS5 because my old one stopped working. It was cheaper to bundle it and get Call of Duty Black Ops 6 as well. Now, I don't know much about Call of Duty if I'm being honest. I don't even know how old the game is, so I'm giving the code to one of you guys if you want it. I'll say a random number later on, so just comment that number and I'll give it to you. Alongside Batman, of course, Nightwing is constantly trying to get it through to him the importance of not killing, and Nightwing arguably had a bigger impact on Damian than anyone else if we're stepping into the comics. But even in the film, he's explaining to him that the mantle of Robin is more than just a suit or a birthright. It means something. I'm sorry guys, he's just so goated. As I was saying, although Damian was undoubtedly skilled and had the means to permanently take out many of the threats in Gotham, it wouldn't make it the right thing to do. He had a long way to go before filling in the mantle of Robin or even calling himself the son of Batman. Oliver, on the other hand, had the proper influences from an extremely young age. Debbie Grayson is an amazing mom that does her best to guide Oliver into the right direction. Unfortunately, she doesn't have his abilities, so she can't relate to him on every level. That's where Mark comes in. Oliver's older brother, whom we know as Mark tries his best to explain to Oliver why killing isn't the best solution, but those words seem to go over his head. It is interesting to see how the different parents and older siblings handle a murderous child. Like Batman in nature is emotionally distant and usually has a Robin to make up for that lack of humanity. Richard Grayson, the first Robin, was a charming, outgoing, and witty partner for Bruce, and the one he grew to respect the most. Shortly after, we had Jason Todd, a lot more reckless than Richard, but still had a heart to do good and to do his best to abide by Batman's moral code. Tim Drake, arguably the best Robin in terms of the role he played and his performance, solely became Robin for this very reason, because he knew that Batman needed a Robin. Robin is the light to Batman's darkness, his daily reminder that there is still good. So what do you do when you pair Batman with a Robin who takes himself even more seriously than Batman? A Robin who causes as many problems as he stops? Well, maybe instead of swapping out the Robin, you get a different Batman this time. That's right, Dick Grayson became Batman after Bruce's supposed death, and we received a never seen before dynamic, a jolly and witty Batman with a serious and pessimistic Robin. So with Richard taking the steering wheel as Batman, it was on him to properly guide Damian onto the right path. He spent a lot of time with Damian and remained the best role model he could be to him through and through, something I don't believe Mark did a very good job at doing. I understand that Mark had a lot on his plate, but as a result of that, he didn't do as much for Oliver as he could have. Alright, I'm just gonna come out and say it. He was spending more time cracking Eve than cracking open a book and figuring out more words in order to explain to Oliver why killing is wrong. Most of their interactions are him telling Oliver that killing is bad or wrong and never being able to give him a proper reason as to why whenever Oliver questions him, which is a lot. Like, Oliver questions it every single time. Again, Debbie can and does do her best as a mother, but if Mark put in a bit more effort, they could break through to Oliver a lot quicker. But there's something else I've come to realize. Damian has valid reasons to be the way he is. After all, he was was quite literally raised from birth to kill and taught that killing was the most efficient way to deal with his opponent. So honestly, that goes to show even more how impressive Nightwing's impact on him was. But the thing is, Oliver is kind of just like this by nature. Sure, he witnessed his brother and father fighting for him as a baby, but that doesn't usually translate to that child being morally inclined to be a killer. It's usually prolonged exposure to that type of behavior or environment that would cause that. And even with an amazing parental figure throughout the majority of his life, he still possesses a violent nature. And another thing is that the mantle of Robin carries weight behind it. I've explained earlier how it's a symbol of good, of light in a place of darkness. This is important because representing something other than yourself or a cause that's bigger than you can significantly change the way you operate. Think of it this way. If you, yes, you had a job, the way you behave and things you do would probably be different depending whether or not you're in uniform, especially if it's a job that you value, because more times than not, when you wear a uniform, you're representing the company as a whole. Same thing applies here. Damian came to realize that his uniform meant he was representing not only his father's legacy, but the Bat family as a whole. Oliver's situation is a bit different. He still wears a symbol that's symbolic of something, but in all the worst ways. He boldly wears that O on his chest, showing respect to his father, Omni-Man. And that'd be all fine and dandy if Omni-Man hadn't gone on a killing spree a short while ago and threatened to take over the entire planet. Unlike Damian, Oliver is representing a symbol that has brought fear and destruction towards not only the city he's trying to protect, but the entire world. So it definitely carries weight, just not the good kind. Omni-Man also isn't present in Oliver's life, so he's not even entirely sure of what he's representing. 162. I guess the point of all this is really just to say that if Nightwing were there for Oliver instead, he'd be a top tier hero in no time. You know, honestly, what sets Nightwing apart from other heroes is his unmatched ability to lead, teach, and inspire. Dick Grayson was the first Robin, paving the way for all who followed. But unlike Bruce Wayne, who often struggles with emotional distance, Dick understands people. He connects. Nightwing isn't just a leader. He's a builder. He helped form and lead the Teen Titans with characters like Starfire, Raven, and Beast Boy and Cyborg, and he turned them into a true family. Even Batman himself has admitted that Dick is the one who holds the Bat family together when everything falls apart. He's kind without being naive, confident without being cocky, and effortlessly charming in a way that should frankly be illegal. Nightwing doesn't just walk into a room, he owns it, radiating charisma like a sunbeam in a city of shadows. He's what happens when emotional intelligence, physical perfection, and a heroic spirit all get assigned to one man, and somehow he still doesn't know how awesome he is. Oh yeah, this is a video about Damian and Oliver. Sorry guys. When push comes to shove, they both do the right thing. Oliver has shown that he does care for his brother a lot, and is even willing to sacrifice himself against someone as powerful as Conquest if it meant possibly giving Mark a fighting chance. Even if his methods are, more convenient than others, Damian has also proven himself worthy of the name on multiple occasions and has grown so much as a character from his introduction, now fully respecting and abiding by his father's moral code and learning to have more compassion and understanding other than violence. And I guess that's it. Thank you for watching. Alright, I know I haven't done a yap time in a bit, so here we go. So here we are. Thank you guys so much. I know I always say thank you, but thank you. We're almost at 17k, which by technicality means that we are almost at 20k. Also, again, if you didn't pick up on what that number was, I guess you're gonna have to rewatch and find out. I think I said it's slow enough for you to pick up. Yeah, so comment it and I'll try to randomly pick someone, and in my next video I'll announce who won or whatever, because that's what people do, I guess. So yeah, I've really been enjoying making Marvel and DC content. I know a lot of people ask, when am I gonna make Chainsaw Man content, because a lot of my profile is based off Chainsaw Man with the Kobani profile picture, and I use Asa photos in a lot of my videos. Just know Chainsaw Man videos will be coming in the future. It's just a matter of me actually catching up and reading that, because I am behind on Chainsaw Man. I want to catch up, and unfortunately, that may involve me having to reread, because I haven't read like the first half of Chainsaw Man, you know, the whole Machima stuff. I read that 2 years ago, and no, like 2 or 3 years ago, and I haven't reread it at all since then. So memory's kind of foggy there in that aspect. And also, I obviously didn't finish the second half because the second half is still going on, but I'm not even caught up on the second half. So just know, give me time. I'm also working on other stuff and playing Fortnite. You know how that goes. But yeah, thank you guys so much for everything. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time, hopefully.